There's a phrase you hear a lot these days. Live your truth. Do what makes you happy. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. But here's the problem. A life built on feelings falls apart when things start to get rough, when things start to get hard. And one of the biggest differences between a boy and a man, especially a godly man, is this. A boy runs from responsibility. A man accepts responsibility. A godly man pursues responsibility. Today we're talking about pillar number 1 of biblical masculinity, responsibility. Man, as I prepared for this lesson, I realized I'm not where I need to be in some of these areas. I think a lot of us men want to be responsible, but life, comfort, distraction pulls us off course. So before I teach this, I'm working on it in my own home, making changes, having conversations with my wife, stepping up where I've dropped the ball. If you're feeling the same conviction, you're not alone. Let's grow in this together. So responsibility isn't just paying the bills or having a job. Biblical responsibility is ownership. Ownership of your actions, your choices, your family, your spiritual life, your growth, your failures. It means you stop asking whose fault is this and what is my role in this? That's maturity. That's leadership, and that is biblical masculinity. Let's go back to the beginning. Genesis. Before sin entered the world, God gave Adam responsibility. He told him to work the garden, keep it, name the animals, and lead in obedience. Adam had purpose and responsibility before he even had a wife. And when sin entered the picture, who did God call first? Adam. Even though Eve ate first, even though the serpent deceived her, God held Adam responsible for the leadership. That tells us something important. God holds men accountable for what they've been entrusted with. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's a calling. And here's the big lie. Our culture teaches blame, right? Blame your parents, blame your upbringing, blame society, blame your spouse, blame the system. But blame keeps you stuck. Because if everything is everyone else's fault, you have no power to change. You're powerless. Biblical men don't live here. They say, I may not control everything, but I can control my response. That moment is freeing because the moment you take responsibility, you take back control of your growth. Let's make this practical, men. What does responsibility look like? Showing up for work on time, keeping your word, paying the bills, taking care of your health, being present for your wife and kids if you have them, leading your home spiritually, admitting when you're wrong, and apologizing without excuses. A responsible man does not ghost commitments. He doesn't disappear when things get tough. He follows through. Why? Because people depend on him, and he knows it. Here's a truth that many men miss. You don't become responsible after you become a leader. You become a leader because you are responsible. Responsibility builds trust. Trust builds influence, and influence creates leadership. If your wife can trust your word, you lead. If your kids see consistency, you lead. If your coworkers rely on you, you lead. Leadership isn't loud or boastful. It's dependable and it's consistent. Let me be direct. Some men want respect without responsibility. They want authority without accountability. They want the title of man of God without the discipline that comes with it. I've been there. But that's not biblical masculinity. That's comfort seeking. And comfort never builds character. Growth comes from carrying weight. Responsibility is weight, but it's a weight that builds strength. Let's look at Christ. No one carried more responsibility on this earth than Jesus. He took responsibility for people who rejected him. He served people who misunderstood him. He sacrificed for people who didn't deserve it. And ultimately, he took responsibility for our sin. Not because it was his fault, but because it was his mission. That's the ultimate model of godly masculinity. Responsibility rooted in love and obedience. So how do I start this? Got to start small, but you got to start today. Ask yourself, where am I making excuses? Where am I avoiding hard things? Where do I need to step up? Then pick one area, your marriage, your finances, your parenting, your spiritual life, your work ethic, and own it. No announcements, no speeches. Just action, men. Look, every man fails. Every man drops the ball sometimes. Responsibility isn't never failing, it's owning it when you do. Confess quickly, apologize sincerely, correct course. That's maturity. That, man, is godly leadership. So if you want biblical masculinity, start here. Take ownership of your life. Stop blaming and start building. Responsibility is pillar one, because every other pillar rests on it. Self-control, leadership, stewardship, love and service, humility, courage. They all collapse without responsibility. In the next video, we'll talk about the next pillar and how it builds on this one. If this helped you, share it with another man who's trying to grow. Because the world doesn't need louder men. It needs stronger, godlier men. And it starts with responsibility.